this series of videos on performing Osborne's Rhapsody. In these videos, I present comments drawn from my article and further performance suggestions I have developed. You can read the article. I've linked this at toread.net. You can see the link on the screen. I also want to draw your attention to the very important article by Sol Schoenbach, The Story Behind Composing the Osborne Rhapsody. In this article, he recounts his meeting of Osborne, his first recording of that, the later radio broadcast of the Osborne Rhapsody, and furthermore, he includes some very important preliminary sketches for the Rhapsody. These were called Study for Bassoon. Osborne later published both the Osborne Rhapsody for bassoon as well as clarinet. These were published in 1958 by Edition Peters. I think you'll find if you're a clarinetist, these videos will also help you because they address issues of the music, the tempo, and the phrasing that will be helpful for your performances. But these videos are primarily for bassoonists and offer performance suggestions for the bassoonist. I also want to draw your attention to Stephen Hanna's dissertation, which includes a portion on the Osborne Rhapsody. Most of his comments on the Osborne Rhapsody deal with his analysis of the work. Very little attention is given to the performance of the work or performance suggestions. These videos will be primarily about performance suggestions. I want to just preface these videos by the fact that the Osborne Rhapsody is still under copyright. I will not be providing the complete music here, nor will I be performing the complete piece here. I want to respect the copyright of this piece and the owners of the copyright and the mechanical rights to the music. So please purchase a part from Edition Peters. Go ahead, let's get started. The Osborne Rhapsody opens with this phrase, and there are a number of things you need to pay attention to. One of the most common mistakes I find from students playing the Osborne Rhapsody is that they do not carefully parse out or control their rubato. Rubato should not be just willy-nilly. I think there should be a sense of direction. There should be a sense of inevitability as to where you're going and where you're coming from. And in order to do that, I subdivide eighth notes in this passage. Now, I will take later freedoms as I convey the music on the stage and in performance, but I depart for those freedoms from really a careful scaling or careful control of the music. You can see a much more detailed discussion of how I subdivide and how I use this control in music in Bassoon Digital Professor number 100. This is called Music in Motion. It's right now available in 3 languages, English, Mandarin Chinese, and Korean. Now, it's important to look very carefully at this section that says più piano. That means more quiet. And in order to achieve this on the bassoon, I change my embouchure. This was a wonderful discovery I made several years ago, that playing piano is not simply an issue of biting down in the reed more, closing the reed tip. Indeed, that's effective. But you can also achieve variation in dynamic and timbre by changing your position on the reed. So, for instance, if 2A is your normal position, sliding the reed out of your mouth slightly will dampen the tone of the reed. There will be less reed tip area vibrating. For instance, here we have almost half of the reed vibrating, less on the bottom lip than on the top. Here, though, we only have about a third of the reed area vibrating. This portion is inside of the mouth. This portion is outside of the mouth. Even further dampening here in 2C, we see that the lower blade really doesn't vibrate much at all, and you're only getting half of the reed vibrating, the top half. So pulling the reed out here in this passage will get the desired effect of piano. Let me play this section now for you with counting to demonstrate the subdivision and the rubato that I am doing in the work. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Now, let me play that for you without the counting, and this time you can pay attention to the little inflection I do here with the change in dynamics. On hindsight, I wish I had done more, but you can hear a little bit of the tone and dynamic change there. Very good. Now let's go on. The section here with the whole note is again one of the very common mistakes I hear for students playing the work. They will not fully count out the note values here. If you're counting in eighth notes as you play through the passage, that will very much help you keep that in rhythm. I find that continuing with eighth notes in this passage, however, is not real helpful because the eighth notes don't directly coincide with the 3. It would be 4 against 3, which is more difficult to count. So I think of beats, 2 against 3 here, taking some freedom. In calzando, we get our word calorie. Caloric, that's a measure of heat, and we get that from the Latin terms, and you can see this is sort of a heating up, increasing of speed and warmth at this area.